Hey, ladies, welcome to the Home Ownership Free class. My name is Ashley Empowers, and I am so excited to teach this class on investing in yourself and in investing in real estate. So, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you may have recently seen a post that I shared about how my husband and I became real estate investors by the age of 30. And when I made that post, literally the girlies want to know how. And I was just so excited to see so many women interested in building generational wealth, building their real estate portfolio. And I just want to preface this training by saying that this is not a training on how to wholesale, flip houses, trade contracts, and all of that. This is simply a simple way that my husband and I became real estate investors without having our ducks in a row. And so I'm going to share a little bit about our journey. I'm really going to peel back the curtain and be as transparent as possible because we were not in the perfect position to start investing in real estate. And I really want to give you hope on your journey that it is absolutely possible for you and some practical things that you can begin doing to prepare now to purchase property in the future. So I do have a couple slides that I want to share just to bring my points home. So let's go ahead and get those popping. And we're going to go ahead and get right into this. So, welcome again to the home ownership training. Before I get started teaching, the first thing that I want you to do is go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat box. Let me know where you are watching from. And I also want you to turn off all distractions. You have my undivided attention and I want yours. So go ahead and close out those extra browsers, close the door for the room that you're in, put your cell phone on silent, and just focus in for this training. What I can guarantee is that if you stay focused, if you grab a notebook and take notes, you're going to walk away with something that's valuable and that you can absolutely positively use for the future. And science just shows us that those people who are note takers, they actually retain information versus people who just sit and listen. So go ahead and grab a piece of paper, grab a notebook so you are prepared to take notes. Now, I also want you to stay with me until the end because I'm going to be sharing our exact step by step home buying master plan for everyday people. Again, this is not some I am trying to make a career out of this. This is just no, hey, I want to add some real estate properties to my portfolio. And I just want a simple way, realistic way on how I can do that. And that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you. So you want to stay with until the end so you get everything that you are meant to get. Now, go ahead and drop me a comment in the comment box if you are a woman who desires to buy a new home this year. Maybe you're already a homeowner. Maybe you're a homeowner and you want to buy multiple properties. Whatever the case is, drop me a yes in the comment box if you are someone who is interested in buying multiple properties. I see that Tish said yes. I see Angela said yes. Okay. Karen, Jill. Wow. Okay. So I'm so happy to say that. And that really just shows me that you are in the right place. And anytime I host a training like this, I always say, I want women to tune into this training who it is relevant to their season of life. So you saying yes just shows that you're in the right place at the right time. So, today I'm talking all about home ownership, building wealth through real estate, and we're just going to keep it very straight to the point. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 M's to reaching your home owner goal. So, this is whether you are a first time home buyer or you're ready to buy an additional property. You're going to learn tools that you can begin implementing today. Now, I'm really excited to share this with you because I truly believe that this will propel you on this journey. So, before we get into those 3 M's, I do want to introduce myself for those of you who are new here. My name is Ashley Brown. Many people know me as Ashley Empowers. I am an entrepreneur, a mother of two, and a high earning housewife. And that's just simply a woman who has the ability to be the CEO of her home and her business by all while generating high income. And so I'm going to, again, peel back the curtain, share a little bit of our journey because it hasn't always been that way. I have not always been a high earning housewife. We have not always been a high earning family. And I just believe that there's just so many there's beauty in sharing a testimony, and that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Now, when it comes to the topic of real estate investing, the question that you may be having is, does Ashley know what she's talking about? And the answer to that question is yes. So we have been able to buy multiple properties over the years, become real estate investors. And I wanted to kind of show you where we have gone or where we've come from to where we are now. Literally, it's like the song started from the bottom. Now we are here. Okay. So in this picture of me in the green skirt, my husband and I were newlyweds and we were living in our first apartment that was 650 square feet. Okay. So we were just so excited to be married. And he actually moved into my apartment. So that was the apartment I lived in while I was single. And then when we got married, we lived in that apartment for about 6 months together until it got to the place where we had outgrown it. Okay. So he had some of his belongings in the laundry room and the master closet, and it was just too tight for us, and we knew that we wanted to start a family one day, and we started to say, well, after this lease is up, we're not going to renew, let's move somewhere else. So always remember a dream of mine had been to live in like a beautiful luxury apartment and for at least a year, right? Like I always said, for at least a year, I want to live in a really nice luxury apartment. And my husband had the same vision. And because we did not have any kids at the time, it was the perfect time for that next move to be in that luxury apartment. And so the picture that you see with me here in the gray dress was in that luxury apartment. When I say it was bomb, it had like 5 resort style pools, a beautiful walking trail, like state of the art amenities. It was just so much fun to live there because a lot of the people in that community were single or young couples, and we had a lot of fun living there. But I remember when it got towards the end of that lease, and the question came up again about where we were to move. We both knew that renting and renewing that lease, we didn't want to do it. And it wasn't that we didn't want to rent. We were actually looking for different apartments that were less expensive, which low key meant less, it wasn't the best quality because we were trying to save money. And I remember we went through a transitional period where my husband and I moved in with my mother-in-law for a short period of time. It was just a couple of months while we were looking for apartments. And one Saturday afternoon, I was all by myself in the apartment, and I never watched the show Fixer Upper, but that day I was going through a marathon. And not to mention, by this time, I was also 7 months pregnant. And I was sitting there and I got a divine nudge that Carrington and I were supposed to buy a house. And mind you, this was nuts. Okay. Like, one, we had never, ever, 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 ever even talked about it. It was something that we saw maybe 10 years down the line. But I just felt this strong nudge that we weren't supposed to be looking at apartments. We needed to be looking at houses. And so I talked to my husband about it. He knew a real estate agent. We got the process started. And when I say we did not have our ducks in a row, we were so green when it came to buying a house. Like, we were like, okay, so what do we do? So the first step is to get pre qualified. Okay, then what? Okay, now we can go look at houses. Oh, we need a down payment. Oh, we don't have it. We had no savings. We had credit card debt. Like, we were not in the position to actually buy a home, but we were able to do it. And so we ended up buying our first property, and it was just a wonderful divine connection. I believe the Lord completely orchestrated it. We were able to buy a brand new home. We thought we were going to have to buy like a little small 1960s house. We were able to actually buy our own brand new home in a brand new neighborhood. It was a little bit far out, but we were so happy to do it. Now, when I tell you our ducks weren't in a row, when we made the decision that we were going to buy a house and we started to just allow the Lord to lead our steps, and we just took one step at a time, do you know that we were able to get the down payment? We were able to cover the whole cost of the move, and every single thing worked out. Like when I tell you, I even have a little gratitude journal where in that season, I was just writing down everything that the Lord was doing. Everything was working out, and we were walking by faith. And I wanted to share that because by the time we were able to buy our second home, things had really dramatically changed. So when we bought our first home, we didn't have savings. We were in over $100,000 in debt. We were living with my mother in law, and we were making major faith moves. So we were also in the process of full time entrepreneurship. I was 7 months pregnant with our first child. Carrington, my husband, had just resigned from his job to pursue a different career. And we were both uneducated when it came to proper financial stewardship. Now, when we bought our first home, one wise thing that I will say that we did do is we bought our home based off of one salary. And really, looking back, it's wisdom, but that's just how it had to be. Making $44,000 a year, we bought that home because my husband had transitioned to a new career. And so it was absolutely amazing. But now that I think about it and I reflect on it, something I was thinking about recently is how this has been in my blood, right? Real estate investing. My mom used to tell me stories about my great grandmother who owned the block of homes that she lived on, and she was a blind widowed woman. And she was a blind widowed woman, and she used to send my mom and my mom's siblings, my aunts, to go collect her rent. And my mom used to tell me these stories to say she was an investor, she was an entrepreneur, she was a business owner. And not only was she, so were her sisters. So my great grandmother was into residential real estate, but my great aunts, they did commercial real estate. So they owned gas stations, they owned stores. And so I realized looking back that this is really in my blood. And the beautiful thing about all of this is that they were the first generation out of slavery. And so when I tell you generations and legacies can be changed through real estate and proper financial stewardship, that is facts. All right. So by the time we bought our second home, things were very different. We were consistently using a budget. We paid ourselves like we were paying a bill. We focused on investing versus consuming. We prioritized our debt payoff journey. So we had paid off a thousands, I think over $30,000 worth of debt. Now to this day, we're completely debt free. But at that time of buying the home that we live in now, we had focused on paying off debt. We were growing our faith and our mindset, and we became financially literate. That is how things changed in a very short period of time. And at the time when we lived in our first home, we didn't know that that was our key to becoming real estate investors. That original home, that first home, we ended up renting out after about 4 years of living there. And it's been an incredible journey. And that is how we got started real estate investing. So, I want to share with you quickly the 3 M's to reaching your homeowner goal. And the first M is your mindset. You have to have a renewed mindset. You have to have a mindset of expectancy and faith, and one that knowing that you're called to do something different in your legacy, right? So at certain times in living in that first home, we wanted to sell it. We wanted to get the equity check. We wanted to do something different. But I just think back and say, wow, if we would have prematurely sold our home, we would not be real estate investors today, right? So there is something to be said about delayed gratification. And so we started to view our old home differently instead of wanting to just move and get to a different side of town. Because, like I said, we lived far out. We were far from our community. We were far from the things that we enjoyed, but we stuck it out and we sacrificed because we started to view that home as our investment property, that we were living in an investment property. And so I just want to take a quick second to share with you why home ownership is so valuable. And this is not to say that renting for a certain season is not bad, because, like I told you, that's exactly what we did. But when it comes to renting, what I quickly learned is that you are throwing away money when you can actually be using that money to build equity in a home. So, your long term goal, long term, should never be to rent. And so, there are so many benefits to being a homeowner, from building equity to the increased responsibility of taking care of something that is yours, that is that is a wise financial investment. And the beautiful thing is, typically, if you're in the right location, homes increase in value and they provide a nest egg for the future. And costs are more predictable when you're a homeowner. When it comes to having a tax deduction at the end of the year, that is such a huge benefit. And at the end of the day, it truly is a great way to build generational wealth. And so the majority of millionaires, I want you to write this down. On average, the majority of millionaires, they own their home. And when I was doing some research, it said that on average their homes are about 2,600 square feet, and they've lived in their home for an average of 17 years, and two-thirds have a paid off mortgage. And those people who paid off their mortgage did it in about 11 years. Imagine the feeling of living in a paid off house. Many people aren't raised with the belief that you could actually pay off your home quickly, but this should absolutely be your goal. Just imagine if you only had to pay for utilities. It would free up so much money for you to give, to invest, to travel. And truly, when it comes to building a biblical legacy, it involves living intentionally and building for the next generation. In fact, Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children." And I'm just going to tell you, an inheritance can look like a ton of different things. It's not just monetary, but real estate is a way that you can absolutely leave an inheritance. Something else that I want you to write down as you're on this journey is to be intentional about avoiding broke language. Now, this is language that says, I can't afford a home. I'm always going to rent. I'm always not going to have enough. I need to be married in order to buy a home. That is broke language. And truthfully, they're lies. And I'm not shaming you, because I used to think that way. I used to think that I needed to wait to be married to buy a house. I used to think that I could only afford certain things in with having a significant other. Like, I really had to renew my mind in that area. And things really changed when I met my accountant. It was after I got married, and she was like, "No, I bought my first house at 22, and then when I got married, we sold that house and used that equity to buy a new one." And so they started their marriage at an advantage. And so understand, when you change your language, you truly do change your life. So the second M of this home ownership training is the move. This is your move. And I just want you to think about this and ask yourself, is God telling you that it is time to move? Many times, God sent men and women to different places so they can come into a new season in their life. And there might be specific things that God is showing you that's telling you it is time to go. And I want you to really discern that, really think about if it is your season to go. And so for some of you, God is telling you and showing you that it is time for you to move because maybe you're too comfortable and He wants to bring you into a new place. And staying comfortable is not going to allow you to grow and to see everything that He has for you. We were comfortable in the apartment. Okay. We were comfortable, but we had to make faith moves and walk by faith in order to see all that God has had for us. And so there are many nudges that you may be getting, or excuse me, there are specific nudges that you may be getting, but I want to share a few that are indicators that it may be time for you to consider moving. So some of the indicators could be that you're running out of space. It could be that you're outgrowing your environment. This could be socially, this could be the connections in the environment. This also, it could be location. Perhaps you're in the wrong location for the season of life that you're in. If you are single and you want to buy a home, but you're living in the suburbs, or you are in communities where you're not able to connect with like minded people, but you really desire that community for your mental health, maybe it's time for you to go. Maybe property values aren't growing up, or maybe property values are going up and you want to get in and get to a property so you can ensure that you're a part of the growth. Maybe God is nudging you to move because He wants to enlarge your territory. Faith moves aren't just physical, they're also spiritual. And maybe He's bringing you to a new level of faith and trust in Him. And so the thing is, you want always want to be prayerful when it comes to these type of moves because you want God to be in it. You want Him to orchestrate everything. You don't want to be trying to push open your own doors, orchestrate your own plans. Even in the market, a seller's market like it is now, there's still favor. There is still favor for you if this is your desire. So when it came to our homes, we closed on our first home within 30 days. We closed on our next home within 2.5 weeks. And I truly believe it was because He was orchestrating our path. God always provides where He guides. And I don't ever want you to forget that. So the last thing that I want to share with you is the money. So I want you to face the truth and really ask yourself, can I afford to make a move right now? Because sometimes you have to take a step back to take a step forward. That was our story. So, three things that I want you to be intentional with on this journey. Go ahead and write these down. Number one, your credit score. You want to make sure that you're paying your bills on time, that if you use credit cards, you're only utilizing 30% or below, that you're paying them in full every single month. You want to make sure that you are doing things that boost your credit in preparation to buy a home. You also want to make sure that you're aware of your debt to income ratio, meaning how much debt do you have in turn in regards to how much money you're bringing in. Because when you're buying a home, your debt needs to be lower than your income. And the lower it is, the better opportunities you have when it comes to your loan, when it comes to your interest rate, and things of that nature. Also, the last and third thing is you want to be saving for your down payment. And ways that you can begin doing this today is by cutting out unnecessary expenses like eating out or going on elaborate dates. We went through a season of that. You can also consider downsizing, or depending on the season of life you're in, renting a room. You can also consider starting a business. This was a game changer in our journey. And also, you want to make sure that you're having an investor mindset versus consumer. And so, when I always tell people, Keeping up with the Joneses will keep you broke. And so will keeping up with a lifestyle that you can't afford. Do not let these luxury influencers fool you. You want to invest your money in things that will build true wealth. When we first bought our first home, our mortgage was less than the luxury rent apartment. And that has become an asset for us. Rich and wealthy people, they live like they are broke, but broke people live like they are rich. So, in conclusion, these are three things that I want you to remember. Number one, on this journey, you need to have the proper mindset. Number two, you need to be content with exactly where you are and seek God and ask Him, is this your time to go? Number three, you want to prepare financially for what you are expecting. So if you're a woman who is like, Ashley, I love this. This is so for me right now. You are speaking to my soul right now. I want you to lean in and listen to me a little bit more. So, we've been on this broadcast for over 30 minutes, and I want to give you our exact plan, how we were able to do it, and how we are continuing this journey of buying multiple properties through wise financial stewardship and having the proper plan. And so if you're someone who is like, I would love to learn your plan, I would love to get this wisdom so I can have a renewed mind and confidence on this investing journey, I want you to sign up for the Home Ownership Master Plan. And so this master plan is a step by step, our step by step, exactly what we've done, step by step plan on how we've been able to buy homes easily and close on them easily. In this program, you're going to find everything that we did, from our prayer and fasting to our exact financial strategy. Once you have this plan, all you have to do is work the plan, then repeat. That is our strategy. We keep it very simple. Typically, I do not offer any type of like one-off trainings. I just teach these things in the high earning housewife community. But because I wanted this to be a no-brainer for you to invest in yourself, to invest in your legacy. I am offering this program for 60% off. So the Home Ownership Master Plan, this is what it's included: financial stewardship one-on-one for home buying, how to develop sound criteria for identifying real estate opportunities, a proven model that we were able to use to build our real estate portfolio and obtain rental properties, key negotiation tips on securing the best deal. Let's just pause, okay? Because I didn't tell you guys, the house that we moved in to, I was able to negotiate $69,000 off the asking price. It was a brand new build in a thriving community. Not only that, I negotiated us getting blinds. They did blinds for the entire house. Not only that, we were able to have the upgrades at a discounted price. It was absolutely phenomenal because I negotiated. Many people don't know that everything is negotiable. So I share those tips within the master plan. I also share the power of prayer and fasting for direction on your specific property. And not only that, you have lifetime access to this content, because if your vision is to buy a home within the next 12 months to 3 years, this everything in this program is applicable for you. And so share that with you. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, Ashley, what is the cost? I want to know more. And I already ran through these sessions. And let me just say this: the program is very simple, 3 sessions. And if you sign up today, you get a bonus session called Real Estate and Marriage by a personal friend of mine, Vanja Gaither. She is a real estate agent. Her and her husband have been able to accumulate over 13 properties. And I was so impressed when I first met her. I was like, will you please record a training? Will you please record a training so I can include it in the program? And she did. So if you sign up today, you not only get the master plan, you also will get the bonus section, the bonus training, and you will also get 60% off. So what's all included And I say this, what we learned in 7 years, you're going to be able to learn within this program. So it's just literally shortening the learning curve for you. So what you're getting, session 1, the plan, session 2, the process, and then the purchase and the bonus if you sign up today. The total value of this program is a little bit over $3,500. Now, I want to say this, to work with me on any capacity, it starts at $2,400 and up. I made this very affordable so you can start investing in yourself. I do not want any excuses. I packaged it so you can invest in yourself, so you can begin this journey to change your legacy. So, although the total value is a little over $3,500, it is listed at $497. But because you are tuning in, I'm going to give you 60% off today, plus the bonus training, which brings the price to $197. That's it. $197. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access to it, and you can be finished with the training this week. You can begin working your plan, and it's going to be a great journey for you. So I always say other stuff that you can spend 197 on, because 197, it can go real quick on a Saturday by you simply going to get your nails done or by you going out to an extravagant dinner. That 197 is gone. But if you want to invest in yourself, invest in your legacy, this is something that can make yourself proud. This is a plan that you can rock with, that you can say, this is simple. And I promise you, you will feel like, I can do this. I shared with you our journey. We did not have our ducks in a row. You need confidence, you need courage, and you need a plan. And this is what you're going to get with this training. So if you are interested in signing up, it is only $197. You can sign up by going to www.ashleyempowers.com/homeowner to grab your program. It is pre-recorded. You can literally buy it now, go start it right now, right? You can get it now. So if you get it by today, I am going to honor your 60% off savings, and I will also honor the bonus training for you to get the real estate in marriage training. You do not need to be married to take this program. In fact, if I could do it all over again, I would have bought a home while I was single. Absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Everything is linked down below if you are interested in being a part of the home ownership master plan. For those of you who this is right for, I am so excited. But either way, I want you to have the mindset to invest versus consume. There is power in learning a new skill. There is power in getting knowledge. And that is exactly what I hope you receive today from this free training. And that is exactly what I hope you get from the home ownership master plan that is available to you now. And I will see you in my next training. Bye for now.